Okay, so Bryan Danielson is officially released from the WWE. I just want to give my quick thoughts on it, and let's just get some facts straight first. All right, so Bryan Danielson obviously took a little bit too far. This had nothing to do with spitting and Cena in his face or kicking Cena in the neck or any of the physical action towards Cena. Obviously, I think that was all part of the deal. But apparently, I guess he did some improvising and was a little bit too stiff with the announcer Justin Roberts. I did not see that part of it. I just saw some of the clips on YouTube, but I must have missed it. But apparently, he kind of choked him with his tie or by the tie. Apparently, that's outlawed now. That after the Benoit situation, they kind of outlawed all choking with foreign objects. So. It looks like that's the reason he got released. Someone backstage pushed for him to get released, which is not a surprise to me. Danielson, going around telling everyone he's the best wrestler in the world. Obviously, a lot of people from WWE are going to be jealous of him and things of that nature. I've even heard Triple H say, I've heard Triple H as quoted as saying that you can't consider yourself the best in the world if you haven't wrestled for the WWE. Uh, so who knows what happened there? But the bottom line is, we've seen people get fired time and time again from the WWE, only to be brought back weeks later or months later, and sometimes even weeks later. Crime Time comes to mind. The Boogeyman comes to mind. So many people, and obviously this is not a big deal to me because it's not a personal issue with Vince. We've seen people that have had really really heated issues with Vince McMahon, only to be brought back. Years later. So obviously, I'm sure Vince is not even that pissed off about this. He probably likes the fact that Bryan Danielson is put his heart and soul into the angle and things of that nature. So I think we'll see him back. The only problem is I was hoping for a Bryan Danielson John Cena match heading into SummerSlam. If Danielson's going to be out for a month, obviously that's going to slow things down. So that's probably not going to happen. As far as Danielson going to ROH or TNA, I would love to see it happen because my biggest dream match right now is to see a Bryan Danielson versus Kurt Angle feud. However, with TNA, you never know what's going to happen there. They might not have the intelligence to book that match, or they might drop the ball with it, just like they did with Rob Van Dam and AJ Styles. So I want to put my trust in the TNA as far as that goes. As far as him going back to ROH, I would love to see it happen. Personally, that's what I want to happen. But at the same time, I'm very happy for Bryan Danielson's success in the WWE so far. He has medical bills to pay. He had a staph infection last year, which cost him a lot of money. So I would, as someone that cares about Bryan Danielson, the person, I would like to see him stay in the WWE. But, in the long run, this could be a good thing for Bryan Danielson. This could be a blessing in disguise. We've seen guys get fired before. Oh, actually, Matt Hardy comes to mind. Matt Hardy, Matt Hardy doesn't have the talent. He didn't have the talent to capitalize on it. But he there was a lot of momentum. He had a lot of momentum from getting fired, and when they brought him back, it was a big deal. But I think this time they could do it with Bryan Danielson, and I just think this will do a lot for him as far as his popularity goes, and they could definitely capitalize on this. This definitely could lead to a huge Cena Bryan Danielson match. However, it just might take a place a lot later than we expect. But he is going to. I definitely think he's going to come back. Though they'll definitely bring him back. It's just going to take some time. 90 days, no compete clause. If they don't bring him back before Glory by Honor, we will see him at Glory by Honor because he got fired on June 11th. Glory by Honor is September 11th, so that's exactly 90 days. So he'll just make it. So that'll be great. But like I said, he's done everything he can in ROH. I would love to see him come back there. I think ROH could use him, to get an official pay-per-view deal, and just to, I think Ring of Honor is going to get a lot bigger within the next couple of years, and for Danielson to be part of that process would be awesome. So, but. As far as this whole NXT angle goes, I'm not going to say it's the best thing in the world like some people are saying. Yeah, I think it's great. But, the main reason I think it's great is because Bryan Danielson is getting a shot. Most of those other guys, I just wasn't high on a lot of those other guys from NXT. Some of the guys do have talent, but, I'm not going to act like this whole NXT invasion angle is the best thing that WWE has done in the last decade. I think it's great and everything, but I'm not gonna highly overrate it. It was an awesome moment. It was an awesome segment. I'll give it that. But you never know though. It's like you never really know. Was Bryan Danielson really going to be the leader of this whole thing, or was he just going to be a supporting player? So if he was going to be a supporting player, then it wouldn't have really meant that much. But it was an awesome moment. It was an awesome angle. I think the WWE needs to lighten up. I think they need to go back to giving the wrestlers a little bit more freedom and they just need to lighten up a little bit more because this is definitely a big turnoff to me. Okay, guys, and really quickly, I just want to follow up on the video I did yesterday. I did the WWE PPV Rewind from 2009. I know this is kind of like, after I released it, I was like, this is kind of pointless because everyone pretty much knows how all the pay-per-views went last year. There's no reason to, break it down pay-per-view by pay-per-view. But, I want to finish what I started, though. So let me just give my thoughts on some of the year. Like I said, my thoughts on the rest of the year. But, like, if you guys remember Sean O'Hare, I wasn't telling you anything that you didn't already know. So it was kind of a pointless video. So, but yeah, like I just want to make a point really quickly. I hear some people say that WWE had an awesome year in 2009. Some people say it was awful. I would say it was good. It was above average, but at the same time, it's hard to compare it to 2004, 2005, 2006. That's when they used to do the brand only pay-per-views. So I'm sure those pay-per-views could have been a lot better if it was Raw, SmackDown, and ECW like they did from this past year. So just wanted to get that out there. So and I don't think you can't really say that the pay-per-view quality determines how great the product is, because WWE in 2003 had a pretty bad year on pay-per-view, I would say, but the overall year, when you combine the awesome Raw and SmackDown matches, made it an awesome year. So, but as far as the stuff from 2009, I thought they got off to a pretty good start. Every pay-per-view was pretty much solid. Extreme Rules, with CM Punk cashing the Money in the Bank, that led to a big CM Punk Jeff Hardy feud. Rey Mysterio and Chris Jericho had an awesome feud, and everything was good. But like some people commented it on the video. Once they brought in the gimmick pay-per-views, it just seemed like the shows were a little bit tougher to sit through. We ended up getting the same matchups over and over again. The Orton Cena match dragged on a little bit too long. I thought their Iron Man match was highly overrated. Survivor Series was good though. I thought Survivor Series, was a bright spot of the year. We got to see some young talent shine, and I thought Survivor Series had a pretty awesome main event. So that was good. The TLC pay-per-view was good, but it wasn't amazing. So the gimmick thing is, I don't know. I just think just because you're going to add gimmicks to your pay-per-views doesn't mean they're going to necessarily be better. I just enjoy the cards a little bit more if they're just singles one-on-one matches. Maybe a gimmick match here and there. It's going to make it seem a lot more special. But I guess this is what they need to do to attract more pay-per-view buys. But hopefully they'll drop this concept heading into 2011, because I don't think this is going to equal more pay-per-view buys for the WWE. So that's pretty much it. Wish Bryan Danielson the best. I mean, that'd be cool if he was at Glory of Honor, but I'm not going to bank on it. But I would expect to see him back before SummerSlam without a doubt. So I'm not going to take this too seriously. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.